Hello, and welcome back to Dastardly Hamster. While this YouTube channel is normally dedicated to music reactions, and we've made efforts to not get too political, as two Canadians, Liam and I felt that we needed to make a statement addressing Trump's tariffs and repeated threats to annex Canada.
What I'd like to see, Canada become our 51st state. If people wanted to play the game right, it would be 100% certain that they'd become a state. But a lot of people don't like to play the game because they don't have a threshold of pain. And there would be some pain. The pain would be really theirs.
We're very grateful to our American audience members who have been so supportive of our channel, and we both have close ties and many positive memories of our interactions with Americans. In fact, my husband is American, and so was my father. Liam's closest friend is American. But as you probably already know, your president has been consistently threatening our country with annexation and 51st state comments and calling our prime minister governor for the last several weeks. Just imagine how you would feel if your larger neighbor threatened to take over your country, change your laws, and replace your elected leaders with their own leaders that you had no vote on. If you've ever watched the 1984 movie Red Dawn, you might have an idea of how Canadians are feeling right now. This has already gone beyond verbal intimidation. One of the ways in which Trump plans to accomplish this annexation of Canada is by using economic force through tariffs.
Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No. Economic force.
But this policy doesn't only hurt us. Trump's tariffs are a sales tax on American purchases that most economists predict will increase prices for everyone, hit the stock market dramatically, and negatively affect your retirement investments. If you're in a similar situation to us and we're already dealing with a higher cost of goods before these tariffs, then these new costs will make it even more difficult for you to support yourselves, your family, and your loved ones. We don't wish this on anyone on either side of the border. And that's why today we're joining millions of Canadians and Americans that are speaking out together and saying that this is a bad idea. If you've been worried about inflation, the cost of meddling in other countries' affairs, or simply want a more affordable life for yourself and your family, we're encouraging you to speak out about the values you already hold. On the Canadian side, we're pressuring American companies and politicians to speak out against these misguided trade policies and to stand up for both Canadian and American consumers. This means that until the cessation of these annexation threats, Canadians are boycotting American products, canceling trips to the US en masse, and increasing our purchases of local, Canadian, and international products. Personally, I've made every effort to ensure that my money isn't going to the US anymore, despite impacts to my daily life. Federal and provincial governments are also fighting back with targeted and reasonable retaliatory tariffs, breaking down long-standing trade barriers between provinces, pulling American alcohol from our provincially controlled liquor boards, canceling major contracts with American companies like Starlink, and gently reminding American consumers about how much they rely on our energy exports.
If they want to try to annihilate Ontario, I will do everything, including cut off their energy, with a smile on my face.
And all of this without skipping a beat on our own domestic agendas, including recent announcements on major infrastructure projects like high-speed rail and universal $10 a day childcare. Canadians are fighting, and we will continue fighting against anyone who tries to fuck with our sovereignty. We will never be the 51st state, we will never accept annexation, and we will stay united no matter the cost. On the American side, you have even more power to put pressure on your politicians to end this trade war and stop these unnecessary taxes on your daily purchases. Unite, rise up, speak out, protest, vote with your dollars, contact your politicians and tell them to do their fucking jobs, and be willing to make sacrifices to save your economy, democracy, and international reputation. And if you think that an economic decline is inevitable or even accelerated through protest, that's loser talk. Trump's almost immediate walkbacks are showing us that he's still beholden to people who want to see their stock portfolios keep increasing, and that his threats stop working as soon as his intended target shows a willingness to resist. So get angry, be impolite, and take every action, big and small, like a Canadian. And since our fellow Canadians already know what to do, to you I'll just say this. Elbows up, gloves off, stay strong and free. Vive le Canada libre.